Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Oh, it's such a good, feel the energy in here today. Yeah, I hope that everybody who's online watching us can feel this energy that we have, this great, massive energy of love. It's like this magnificent experience of love happening right here. I'm going to let everybody come on in. I'm going to invite Christy to start the vamp on this, and yeah, we'll get going here. So this is a song that we have, yeah, stand up. Feel free to move your body. And if you want to sing along, you'll learn it pretty quick probably. There are some of you who will know it, right? Oh, it skipped a slide. There we go. Here we go. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I see you dripping with abundance and ease. I see you enjoying the life you please. Playful at work and creative at play. I see you in gratitude for every day. And I say, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the dreams of your heart want to fly. It's time to spread your wings and give it a try. The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only come the more you believe. Come on now. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. Okay, here we go. It's all right. Okay, say that again. It's all right. Okay, nice big one. It's all right. Your biggest self can't be denied. You've got no place to hide because I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. Everything is all right. Yes, it is. How is everyone this morning? You are, yes, 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 yes. What a brilliant day already. Welcome to Tucson New Thought. I am Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here. It is such a pleasure to have you join us this morning for our Sunday morning celebration. We join together as a spiritual community each and every week to know one thing. To know one thing. Does anyone want to have a go at what you think that one thing is? What do you think that one thing is? Yes. We are all one. Yes, that is absolutely what we are here to know. And that one, that energy of creation, which we call the one, which we call God, I like to call it love. So we are all here expressing as love. Yeah, right? Sounds good. We are here to create a world that works for everyone. That is our vision here, and we do this through our mission, which is to provide practical tools. Thank you. Make it more theatrical. Because that's my background, is theater. We are here to provide practical tools for personal transformation, and when we do that, we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And here's what I want you to know. If you are joining us for the first time, there is something that we all know about you. And I'm not going to make you stand up. But what I would love for us to do is, for those of us who come here on a regular basis or have been here before, let's just take a look at some of the new faces and let them know this, that you are magnificent. It's right there. Did you see that when you came in? You are magnificent, and you are here. We are each and every one of us here to connect. Not just here at Tucson New Thought, but here in this world, we are here to connect. So what I would love for you to do is to take just a couple of minutes to connect with some close friends and neighbors. Let them know their magnificence in your own unique, magnificent way. And I do want to say hello to everybody who is watching online and let you know that you are here, that we feel your presence here, and we are so grateful that you've decided to join us for our celebration today. And I want you to know you are magnificent. You are magnificent. I'm going to invite Marvis to join us up here today. Yes. One of the practices that we have here on an ongoing and regular basis is what we call lighting the flames of faith, a ceremony that we do each and every week to honor the various faith traditions, spiritual practices, and religious ideologies of the world, to really truly understand that all of them are rooted in what we've already talked about, which is that golden thread of love. And so for each candle that we light, we are honoring that notion. So we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. We're a candle off somehow. Light the candle, and we've got one more. Light that candle. Yes, and that's for whatever we skipped by accident. This final candle that we light is a candle to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed, for that is the true nature of healing, the revelation of divinity. For we are all divine, each and every one of us. So this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. This candle over here, the one that actually has fire, is our peace candle. And we leave that lit every Sunday as a representation that peace begins right in our own hearts. And it is everlasting as long as it is everlasting within each and every one of us. And so what I always like to do is to read this modified prayer of protection, which is originally written by James Dillett Freeman, as we replace one of the words with peace. So I'm going to invite you to just relax right where you are and close your eyes. Truly, the light of peace surrounds us. The love of peace enfolds us. The power of peace protects us. And the presence of peace watches over us. Wherever we are, peace is. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. And so what I know is that right here, right now, there is a power and presence that is infinitely creative, and it is all that exists. There is only this one power. There is only this one presence. There is only this one love, and this is who and what each and every one of us is. Every fiber of our being is created from and expressing as love, right here, right now. This is the infinite truth, and I revel in this truth in the here and now. And I allow myself to sink into this knowledge, to sink into this truth, knowing that I am that which is. And so as I speak, my words have the authority of this divine power. And so I speak my word on behalf of every single one of us here right in this moment, that we are rooted in and expressing as love at all times, and that our lives are unfolding based on kindness and respect. That as we put this out into the experience of the world, that this is what is reflected back to us. And so this time that we have chosen to be together is a time that is wrapped in love. It is wrapped in joy. It is wrapped in wisdom. It is wrapped in peace. And so I simply relax with deep gratitude in my beingness, welling up throughout me right here and right now. And it is in gratitude that I know this perfect word unfolds brilliantly, easefully, effortlessly, and gracefully. I release, let go, and simply allow, as together we say, and so it is. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love. it all in, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to talk.
You just want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to talk?
Of course I do. I would love for you to welcome Reverend Marvis Rodriguez, who has some infinite words of wisdom for us today.
Yes, I always do, and I surprise myself as well. We give a reading, or actually Reverend Jonathan gives each of us who do the reading every Sunday a quote. And our job is to read the quote and then give an example from our life. This quote is written, or was written, by Ernest Holmes, and it goes, to desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. When things look the worst, that is the supreme moment to demonstrate to ourselves that there are no obstructions to the operation of truth. When things look the worst is the best time to work, the most satisfying time. The person who can throw himself with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from the apparent moorings, from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. So, now on to my experience. I wanted to just mention some of the words in here might be confusing, like demonstrate would explain the answer to a prayer or a desire. And I think I'll just go on to my own personal experience. In 1996, or the early 1990s, seems ages ago, I was taking classes in Science of Mind, and I was in the third year class, which is studying to be a practitioner. And so that's one piece of my story. The second piece is I was born without hip sockets, and so I have, for my entire life, had issues with pain and various surgeries. So I'm going to the third setting is to tell you that I was born and raised on a rural farm in Wisconsin. Yay, farms. So it was 1996, and I was back home in Wisconsin to attend my high school reunion. And I was staying with my mother and father on the farm. And one of the things that happens very often, no, I don't want to say often, but occasionally, is that the cows will get out of the pasture and run all over the place, and can be over roads and other people's yards, and I just scatter. And when it happens during the night, it's everybody on deck, everybody who lives there, from little child to grown adult. So there I was, sleeping, and the word was out, the cows are out. And so I was like, oh my God, I gotta jump into gear, I'm a fireman now. And I run out like I remember doing so often when I was younger. It's dark, because it happens at night, because that's sort of when the cows like to get out. And it's dangerous, too, because they walk across the highway and they could easily be hit by a vehicle and hurt both the driver and the cow. So there I am, back as a 12-year-old. I'm 50, by the way, at that time, running after damn cows in the dark. My father and my brother have pickup trucks, and the plan is they go ahead and try to, and then my mother and I and whatever kids there are finding the loose cattle and trying to herd them back to the group. So that went on, and of course the cows all gathered, and as they always do, they're like, whoops, I know we did a bad. And so they went back in their pasture, and my brother and my father fixed the fence, and I went back to the house. And all the while that I was doing this, my brain was going, Marvis, oh my God, Marvis, oh my God. You're running around and your hip is so bad and you know that you're probably going to need surgery soon. What are you doing this for? And my brain was like, don't even think about it right now. You have an emergency. And so I got back in the house, and I think my mother opened up a bottle of beer, which is what all good German farmers do. And we split the beer, and I went back to bed. And because I was in practitioner training, I knew about praying and to go about doing the work. But here I was, when things looked the worst for me, imagining that, oh my God, something is going to be a problem tomorrow. But I laid down and I did the treatment work, which is prayer work, and I centered myself in relaxing, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up the next day, I was perfectly fine, which was a wonderful example of prayer working for me, especially at that time in my life. And it applies to me directly to this quote: to do not desert the truth in your hour of need. That is when you need it the most, and that is probably when your mind is running wild like wild cows, and you have to tame it down. So with that, I want to invite you to join with me in today's affirmation, which is living life to the fullest. It's on the screen. So I'll say it once, and then you say it with me. Living life to the fullest. What am I forgetting?
The theme of the month is living life to the fullest.
Well, I'm living life to the fullest. Oh, here. Okay, I'm free to be me, living life fully and fearlessly. Even better. I am free to be me, living life free and fearlessly. Yay. Reverend Jonathan.
Thank you so much, Marcus. I am free to be me, living life fully and fearlessly. Indeed. And it sounds like you had some full and fearless experiences in your life. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. The person who can throw himself with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. Well, we have quite a reward that has presented itself because I finally said I am willing to throw myself into that limitless sea of receptivity and welcome in other musicians. Yes. Today we have, do you want this on the stand or are you going to, okay. Today we have a very special treat. So Christy has come to us by way of Grace, and Grace and Christy have a song that they're going to share with you today. So please welcome Grace and Christy.
Spirit, you have come to the Lakeshore, looking You who have fished other oceans, ever longed for by souls who are waiting, my loving friend, as thus you called me. Oh, Spirit, with your eyes you have searched me, and while smiling have spoken my name. Now my boat's left on the shoreline behind me. By your side I will seek other seas. By your side I will seek other seas.
Thank you so much. Oh. Beautiful. This is the constant thing every week. Back and forth. I take this thing back and forth. I do like to carry it. Expanses of water are consistent metaphors in spiritual houses. And what I love about it is this idea, when I was living in Toronto, it's right on the shore of Lake Ontario, and so we would go out to the beach, as much of a beach as it is, it's very, rocky. And I never got into the water because that lake freaks me out, and it's really cold. But I loved being able to look out onto that lake, and also always marveled at what lies below, that which you don't see. We all have this expression in the world, and people see the expression, but there is so much more that lies underneath the surface of each and every one of us. And I think that's why this idea of lakes and seas and water has such meaning and it's powerful for us, because it really is a deep metaphor for the truth of our being. In these lyrics, and so if you have been part of the Methodist tradition, the United Methodist tradition, you may have recognized that particular hymn. It's common in the Methodist hymnal. Some of these lyrics I wanted to talk about. Looking neither for wealthy nor wise ones. Looking neither for wealthy nor wise ones. There's that infinite spirit that is always unfolding. And we sometimes disassociate it from ourselves. And part of the practice of New Thought is to root ourselves in the knowledge that it is not separate from the self. It is fully, fully expressing right here and right now as each and every one of us. And knowing this and trusting this and allowing this, we need not look for wealthy nor wise ones, because we are the very expression of this impressive spirit. We are wealthy and wise. How many of you feel that? That was about half of you. It's about half of you. It's better than a lot of rooms I speak to. I was going to say it's better than a lot of rooms I play. Those who are here for the first time are going, who is this guy? Yeah. Here's part of my conscious choice in ministry. Enlightenment through entertainment. If nothing else, I would love for you to be entertained. We are wealthy and wise. We are love, light, life. We are peace. We are power. We are beauty and joy. And all the attributes of God that I talked about last week, those things are who and what we are, because there is no separation. There is absolutely no separation. And it is the feeling of separation that often leads us off the path. It often leads us off the path. As you know, to desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. The quote that I provided to Marvis, basically is saying this: when we forget who we are, we forget the truth in our hour of need. That's when things go awry in life. And it is exactly in those moments that it is what we need. It is what we require. We are wealthy and wise. We are not looking for those things. It is who we are. And when we are willing to accept these attributes as our beingness, our life unfolds based on that new idea. That's why it is new thought. Because new thought is not so new. It is ancient wisdom, and it is being expressed in a different way. That's what makes it new. And we are each of us bringing our new ideas and new thinking to our lives at all times, no matter what. And we can either be in alignment with the truth of our being, or we can be out of alignment with the truth of our being. And wherever we are, that's the way our life will flow. Because the one thing I also know is that the flow of life is unceasing. It is constantly unfolding, and it can go any direction. It doesn't have a care in the world what you do with it. The flow of life is simply responding and expressing because of your individualization of an infinite consciousness. Other lyrics. You need my hands full of caring through my labors to give others rest and constant love that keeps on loving. You need my hands full of caring through my labors to give others rest and constant love that keeps on loving. The infinite divine spirit expresses. It expresses as us, and our work, and I touched on it in the opening prayer today, our work is to let all of that be rooted in love. That's why I've been using the word God a lot more in the last couple weeks, but I really do prefer the synonym, which is love. Love is all there is. Love is the only thing that matters. Can we root our hearts in that space and let our labors, because here's the thing, I always say, it's work, right? Until it's not work. Let our labors in life be rooted in love, and trust that everything that flows forth shows up according to that idea. But the refrain of this hymn is what's important. That's what's important to me today. My boats left the shoreline behind me. I will seek other seas. My boats left the shoreline behind me. I will seek other seas. That is abandoning with, I keep wanting to say it. That is throwing ourselves into that limitless sea of receptivity. My boats left the shoreline behind me. I will seek other seas. The other thing that happens is when we don't know who we are, we may be walking through life with fear preceding us. And that will stop the capacity for each and every one of us to seek other seas, to seek different ways of expressing, to seek the evolution of our soul and our heart in alignment with our mind. I call this a Center for Spiritual Evolution because I am very interested in the forward momentum of life. I want us to be involved in the evolution of our lives, and it takes involvement to evolve. We must be involved, but we also must be willing to leave that shoreline behind us and drop into that limitless sea of receptivity. The search for spiritual truth is ever unfolding. We are a point of spiritual expression, each and every one of us. And our unfoldment is the evolution of spirit. And here's what I want to make sure is very clear. This is not meant to be considered in a reductive way, because spirit can never be reduced. I am not littler than spirit. I am an aspect of the infinite, as are we all. It's hard for people to wrap their minds around. It is hard for people to wrap their minds around. It's a question that gets brought up a lot. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, used to open his radio program with, "There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it." And I actually had a recording that I was playing for a while, and I took out the "greater than you are" portion of that recording, because I really want us to understand that while the infinite nature of spirit is greater than our individualization of it, we are the aspect of that infinite nature at the level of our awareness and understanding of it. But it is who and what we are. We are that infinite nature. Are you laughing because I'm bouncing off the walls? Entertainment through enlightenment through entertainment. Where was I? We are the infinite. We are the infinite. Let us take away this notion that we are somehow less than, because we are not. We are not less than. None of us. But when we truly understand this, then we understand that every single person that we encounter is also the infinite. We are on equal footing, and boy, knowing who you are is the great equalizer. Yes?
Are we just kind of like the fun size?
All right, we're the fun size. We're fun size God. I want us to walk away from here today knowing that knowing who we are enhances our experience of life. It does not reduce it in any way. So, you are God. Yes, you are. Sorry, don't mean to yell. So it really goes back to one of the things I introduced in our setting here last week. Although I've talked around it a lot, I'd never really explicitly stated it until last week, and that was the previous spiritual centers that I've come from that have adopted this notion as their vision, which is love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. If we can truly engage in those three ideals, love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are, we can let go of the shore and truly fall into that limitless sea of receptivity. There's a parable in the Buddhist tradition. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm going to read this entire parable. And there will be things that maybe will seem to contradict what I have just said. We can talk about it all later. But if something goes, wait a second, talk to me about it later. And the Buddhist tradition is this. Suppose there is a man journeying on a road, and he sees a vast expanse of water, of which this shore is perilous and fearful. This shore. Was that clear?
Yes.
While the other shore is safe and free from danger. But there is no boat for crossing, nor is there a bridge for going over from this side to the other. So the man thinks, this is a vast expanse of water, and this shore is perilous and fearful. But the other shore is safe and free from danger. There is, however, no boat here for crossing, nor a bridge for going over from this side to the other. Suppose I gather reeds, sticks, branches, and foliage, and bind them into a raft. Now that man collects reeds, sticks, branches, and foliage, and binds them into a raft. Carried by that raft, laboring with hands and feet, he safely crosses over to the other shore. Having crossed and arrived at the other shore, he thinks, this raft indeed has been very helpful to me. Carried by it, laboring with hands and feet, I got safely across to the other shore. Should I not lift this raft on my head, nor put it on my shoulders to go where I like? It continues by asking these questions. What do you think about it? And this is for self-reflection. What do you think about it? Will this man, by acting thus, do what should be done with a raft? I'm going to encourage you to consider the answer that came up in your own heart and mind to that question. because this is how it continues as well. If we say no, how then would we be doing what ought be done with a raft? Having got across and arrived at the other shore, the man thinks, this raft indeed has been very helpful to me. Carried by it and laboring with hands and feet, I got safely to the other shore. Should I not pull it up on the dry land or let it float in the water and then go as I please? By acting thus, would that man do what should be done with the raft? Having the purpose of crossing over is not the same as having the purpose to be clung to. The teaching is similar to the raft. I have clung on to this teaching. I have clung on to other teachings in my life, but sometimes we need to let that go, like the raft. Let go of the shore and move forward in a different way. You who understand how similar the raft is to our teaching, you who understand that, you who live by the way of this teaching, maybe should let go. Maybe just let go. I was speaking to somebody yesterday, a friend of mine. We were talking about a concept of meditation. And the concept of meditation that was brought up, this person felt like sitting on the ground in lotus position was how you meditate, which a lot of people think. Now, meditation is whatever you decide meditation needs to be. And how you practice meditation is entirely up to you. In fact, I think it was Joan Borisenko who said, if I am thinking about having a steak for dinner later in the day during my meditation time, that is a perfect meditation. You get to decide what that is. But this person was saying, I have this concept of what meditation is, and what happens when I get into that is that I start to become hyper-aware of my physical beingness. And I try to reject that. That's really what came out in the conversation. I'm trying to reject that. I'm trying to let go of that. I'm trying to, not feel so much discomfort in my own body. And I said to this person, have you ever tried the opposite? Letting go of what you think you know, letting go of what you think it should be, and allowing what is. Because maybe what is necessary in that moment is to become hyper-aware of what the body is feeling, what is happening in the body. We are in this limitless sea of receptivity. We are swimming through it all the time, no matter what. What do we cling to within that sea? What is it that we cling to? Do we have a willingness to let it all go? Before I get to the random reading, I have one more thing to tell you. When I first became a minister and was catapulted into a spiritual directorship in Toronto, Ontario, I spoke for 6 months, and I did all the things I was taught in ministerial school. And I read the right things, and I said the right things, and I did the right things, and it just went on. And about 6 months in, I started my talk with this. Let go of everything. Forget everything I have said in the past 6 months, and let's start here. Let us start here in this moment with this question. Who are you? Did everyone who wanted to write down a number have the opportunity to write down a number? No. Well, then I'm not going to have you write one down, but I'm going to invite you to choose the number and tell me what the number is. 67. So then I turn to page 67 in our text, the science of mind. I knew they were leaving, by the way. That was set up before. Wow, why Why are they walking out? I knew that they had to leave.
Actually, Jonathan, I am 67.
You are 67. Is that the number that you wanted? There are two paragraphs on this page. One or two? One. In the beginning of any creative series, there is an absolute intelligence alone, pure spirit, all-inclusive, everywhere, infinite. Sounds like a limitless sea of receptivity to me, doesn't it? This all-spirit could not have the impulse to move unless it were conscious. Therefore, spirit is the power that knows itself well. Haven't we been talking about knowing who we are? The very power of creation is moving by means of you when you truly know who you are, and you can direct it specifically. Because here's the thing, we are all creating all the time, no matter what, but those who understand the power of their mind are going to create specifically and for the good of their lives. I see so many people, and it's not a judgment, but it is a discernment on my part to understand that it is not for me to change them, but for me to know who I am and set an example. Because I see so many people in the world who dive into that limitless sea of receptivity, and they don't direct their flow, and so they just allow whatever shows up to show up, and oftentimes it can be destructive in nature. It can be destructive in nature. We are the very power of spirit right here and right now. And when we accept that as who we are and direct that flow, how great life becomes. I know it's perfect timing, wasn't it? Sorry. It's the peril of having a small space. It is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. I should explain to everybody who's watching online that right when I said flow, we heard a toilet flush. So you understand why we're all laughing. So this is really where I want to end today, is this idea. How do you want to direct the flow, and who do you want to be in this world? And do you have the willingness to perhaps build that raft, to build that safety, allow yourself to get from the treacherous shore to the even shore, and then let the raft go? Come on in. Do you have that willingness? That's the question. Can you truly dive into that limitless sea of receptivity? That is a rhetorical question that I would love for you to ponder all week long. And that's your homework. I'm not going to make you do anything like, oh, I've got to go out and I've got to tell people how magnificent they are. You can still do that, and I encourage you to do that. Let people know their magnificence. But I would love for you this week to truly ponder the infinite truth of your being. Find time each and every day to ponder the infinite truth of your being. Breathe into that. Spirit, you are at the Lakeshore. And I am saying that to you. Spirit, you are at the Lakeshore, and you get to decide how to proceed. Namaste. Namaste. Christy? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't show you my graphic.
We should sing again.
That's Lake Superior. I actually took that from the car window as we were driving by. Yeah. That is a real picture. Yes. Yeah. But imagine, just look at the stillness there, and let's settle into the stillness here. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. Sing that again. In the stillness of this moment there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love. There is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love. As we continue, I'm going to invite you to bring something or someone to mind that you are in a willingness place to forgive right now. And we're going to sing in the stillness of this moment, I forgive. In the stillness of this moment, I forgive. I forgive. In the stillness of this moment, I forgive. I forgive. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I forgive. And we'll round it out with I am love. In the stillness of this moment I am love. I am love. In the stillness of this moment I am love. I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am love. I keep forgetting to remind people that take part in this next section that it's their week to do it. It is your week to do this if you'd like, but I'm happy to do it instead. you're more comfortable with that. Well, you want to do it? All right. Please welcome Carrie Pierce.
It's fine. I can be improv here.
Yeah.
Once again, every time I have the opportunity to stand up here and look out at how this room grows and swells, and we're going to have to start knocking down walls pretty soon, I rest in so much gratitude for this community and for the love that I feel here. And I am love, and we are all love. And Tucson New Thought is a community that is supported entirely by your love, by your generosity. And so I invite you now to, in the spirit of love, in the spirit of generosity, in the spirit of growth and beauty and, gosh, everything today, the Lakeshore that we all are approaching, I invite you to take out your investment, your gift, your tithe. Doesn't matter what you call it. What matters, it is the energy of sharing the love that we're talking about. And so for those of you online, should be a link right there in the description field. And if you can't find it, you can always go to TucsonNewThought.org. And we're so glad that you're out there watching. We have opportunities for giving cash, check, credit card. We've got a swiper. We've got all of it. All in the energy of sharing this love.
Can I also just real quickly,
Yeah.
you'll see some people put these little rocks into the basket. It's not that they're giving us rocks. This is an indication that they belong to our pre-authorized giving program, and they automatically have deductions taken from a credit card or a debit card on a regular basis. So that is their indication that they give. And if you'd
So
like to
that's
have
an
information
option.
about that,
Yeah.
you can talk to me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I just want to say I honor your commitment to our vision and mission here at Tucson New Thought, and I'm grateful for your support and the blessings that you are sharing with us today. So with that, I invite you to hold in your hand whatever your gift is today or your intention, and read together with us our divine givingness statement. And here we go. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that Spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
Indeed, it does. Thank you so much for that. William's going to take the basket around. A couple things I want to let you know about. Today is our Potluck Sunday, and I'm grateful to everyone who has brought something to share. And if you haven't brought something to share, please stay and eat, because there's a lot of food, and we really, really don't want it to be left here to make me even heavier than I already am, because I'm trying to slim down. Yes.
And if you feel like you want to contribute something, there's a love offering jar, but you don't have to do that either.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me, except that we're now at the end of the month, and they'll have new, yes, we do recycle our handout, so if you don't want to hold on to it, you can leave it on the table. If you'd like to hold on to it, you are welcome to do that, but we usually only will do one printing each month. You can take them all today, because we're doing a new printing for the next month, because next week is October. Can you believe that? October already. Yeah. Weekly meditation is offered right here in this room every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I encourage you to join us for that. Carrie Mon gave a beautiful meditation on Wednesday. You don't know that I was listening, but I was. And I'm looking for opportunities to expand who is leading meditation on a regular basis, because it doesn't always have to be me, and it has primarily been me. If you have a request for prayer support, we have slips on the table that you can fill out and put into the yes box that is on the table there. And just know that your intention by writing down what it is you require in your life means that the healing has already begun. So that is a great way of engaging the core of practitioners and ministers who are part of this center to do work on your behalf. If you are joining us for the first time today and you're not already on our mailing list, I encourage you to sign up, and you can get some nice free prayers from me to you that are pre-recorded, and you can just listen to them, and they are there to support you in the primary areas of your life. A couple of other things. The full moon release party is on October 15th, which is a Tuesday, which is after the full moon, because when the full moon is happening, Carrie Mon's out of town. But Path and Purpose mentor Carrie Mon Pierce leads our full moon release party every single month. It is a magnificent experience, and if you've been to it before, she changes it up every single month in some way. So don't think that I've done that, I don't need to do it anymore. It's a great experience and a lot of fun.
Call it, and some people wonder, it's a personal growth experience.
Yeah.
Where we're looking to release and then create new intentions with a lot of fun in between.
Yes, yes. And I believe there were also, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
I believe there were also slips that were in your handout. If not, they're on the table here. We are collecting items here at the Center for Casa Alitas, which is the organization that supports the migrants who are coming into this country. And essentially,
Into your program, so yeah, do please pick them up if you would like to
thank you.
know more about that and donate to our center.
Yes.
Get it over to theirs.
Yeah, so you can bring stuff here because the drop-off center is way out on Ajo, and some people for that, it's too far. So you can bring stuff here, and we are happy to take it down there for you. William, if you would please. As I put my gift in, thank you. And just settle into this moment of recognition and reflection that what has been collected here, is an activity of love, for money is love in action. Money is God in action. And so each and every one of us have contributed in action to the forward momentum of this thing called Tucson New Thought, and the work and the vision and the mission that we do and have here. I know that this is a blessed offering, and I know that as it moves through this time in this place, it moves forth to heal and bless everyone whom we come into contact with. And so I live in deep gratitude for this understanding that this is part of the greater circulation and flow of life. Breathing into this gratitude, I simply let it be as I release, let go, and allow the flow. And together we say, and so it is. I want to say thank you to Aiden, who's the man behind the curtain, for his technical support today. Yes. Again, thank you to everybody who has brought something for our potluck. I do want to let you know that we're going to be very swiftly bringing 3 tables out. So we're going to be clearing the chairs and bringing tables out once the celebration is over. So just be aware that that's going to be happening. And, we will try not to run into you. I want to say thank you to our greeter, Mirta, today, for welcoming everybody beautifully as they walked in the door. Yes. I want to say thank you to our beautiful inspiration from Reverend Marvis. Thank you for that. I want to say thank you to Carrie Mon for improving and standing up and doing what you just get up here and do it now. I really want to say thank you to Christy and to Grace for that beautiful, beautiful song, and for sharing your gifts with us. Yeah. And thank you all for being here today, for celebrating, and for sticking around for the potluck. Let's lift our spirits up as we raise the energy and take us into our final song of the day as we close out today. If you think there's nothing new under the sun, if it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage has all been set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. If you think you finally made your bed, there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think this is as good as it gets, wanna bet? You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with the wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Have a great week, everyone.